Right now, there is widespread protests in China because people are angered by strict COVID-19 measures and are calling for China's most powerful leader to resign and end the one-party rule. They are saying that they do not want lifelong rulers. They do not want emperors because the president has scraped presidential term limits. People are angered over a deadly fire that took place, killing 10 people because the apartment was locked due to COVID-19 measures. Moreover, China is literally the only major country after 3 years of COVID-19 emergence to have a zero COVID policy. It has suspended access to neighborhoods for weeks at a time. Cities carry out daily virus tests on millions of residents. Yes, this has kept China's infection numbers lower than those of the United States and other major countries, but people's acceptance has worn very thin. People don't have food and medicine, and the ruling Communist Party is facing anger because of two children that have passed away due to antivirus controls since they couldn't get the medical help they needed. China, on the other hand, is defending these COVID-19 policies by saying they need these policies to make sure that they do not overwhelm the healthcare system. Now, the one-party rule. Obviously, we know China has a one-party rule, and people are frustrated because it's the third term of President Xi. Now, protests in general in China are very rare, and people are just frustrated after the president has secured a third term. However, people are saying this is far different than the 1989 protests that happened at Tiananmen Square. People expect that the China's elite and the army would be on the president's side, and the president, would not face any meaningful risk to his power. Now, this has had serious implications on Apple's iPhone production. So the turmoil at Apple's manufacturing hub of Shenzhen is likely to result in a production shortfall close to 6 million iPhone Pro units this year. A lot of this will depend how quickly Foxconn Technology Group, the Taiwanese company that operates the facilities, can get people back to assembly lines after violent protests against COVID restrictions. If lockdowns continue in the weeks ahead, production could be set further back. The Foxconn facility produces vast majority of iPhone Pro and Pro Max devices, Apple's most demanded headsets this year. These premium phones have picked up the slack for the slumping demand for the regular iPhone 14 models. Apple lowered its overall production target to about 87 million from the earlier 90 million units that were projected. Morgan Stanley also predicted that the iPhone Pro model production would fall at about 6 million units per year, but that was before all of this violent protests. So we expect production to go down even more. Now, why has all of this happened? Why? I mean, Apple is a huge trillion-dollar company. Why has this happened? And Foxconn has actually tried to dissolve the protests due to the COVID-19 controls by offering a bonus to any workers that return home, or over the weekend added a bonus as much as 1,800 per month for full-time employees staying to the factory to December and January. The complex hosts around 200,000 workers during peak iPhone production, and 20,000 new hires have already left after the protests. Now, Foxconn is actively hiring additional employees with the government's help. Apple and Foxconn, also known as Hon-Hai Precision Industry Co., said that the shipments of its newest premium iPhones will be lower than previously expected because of China's lockdowns without providing any specifics. Morgan Stanley's analyst also worked through a worst-case scenario for Apple and Foxconn, in which the Shenzhen facility couldn't ship any iPhones for the rest of the year. That would result in a 20% shortfall in expected sales for Hon-Hai in the current quarter. Maybe this will lead to Apple to diversify its production base. Now, I did some quick research, And you can see that in the United States, the iPhone Pro Max, there's a part almost a 4-week shipping, so definitely there is a delay. But the iPhone 14 Plus, just the regular one, is 1 business day away. So definitely there's a huge difference. And as discussed earlier, Apple's demand for the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max have exceeded the basic 14 iPhone model. So this is very, very crazy actually. I definitely see an impact on Apple stock for the Chinese people that are protesting against the one party rule. Democracy in general is a very important thing, and you know, hopefully in the near term and it can be available to all. So I hope this video provided some value, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.